I am starting the stream now. Just bear with me for a moment while I grab these links to post around. Great, we are live. So welcome to Chatting with Millie Taiden and her Millie Taiden's World authors. Today I'm both Jessica Ripley and Renee Hewett. I have books in Millie's World under both names. I will be moderating, and I'm a very structured, organized moderator, so I will call on people. My husband was like, "Are you trying to cut people off?" I'm like, "No, I'm just trying to keep it rolling. So if I cut you off, it's just because there was a tiny pause and I thought you were done." Just keep talking and then I'll be like, "Oh, sorry." So let's start with introductions, starting with Miss Millie Taiden.
Hello, everyone. My name is Millie Taiden, and I write paranormal romance featuring furry girls and furry guys. I have created quite a few worlds, but some of the most popular are the Paranormal Dating Agency, the Sassy Maids World, and the and the Federal Paranormal Unit. I love these worlds so much that I wanted to share the ability for others to write in them, and I am so glad that so many amazing authors have taken the opportunity to do that. And they will tell you more about themselves.
Okay, now Jennifer.
Sorry, my computer's about to die, so I'm plugging it in really quick. I'm Millie's world manager. I control all three worlds, and then I write in the Paranormal Dating Agency and the Federal Paranormal Unit, and I've started the Sassy Ever After story. I have the cover. I think I've even shared it. I just haven't gotten past the second chapter, but I'll be out there in that one soon. And I'm gonna duck under the desk for a minute, so excuse me.
Next we have Terri.
Hey, I'm Terri A. Wilson, and I've written in Sassy and FCU. I have a PDA that's about halfway finished, and I heard about Millie's World, and I just wanted to be a part of it. It's a great group of people to work with. It's really helped me cut my teeth in the author world, and I've had fun. Okay.
And then happy 2-year anniversary to Miss Godiva Glenn.
Hello. So I started out writing in a Paranormal Dating Agency, and I got really into it because I was just kind of started writing with a menage theme, and then next thing I knew, all of my books in PDA became reverse harems. And then I also just started writing in the Federal Paranormal Unit, and I just released 2 of those in March.
Awesome. CD Gorri.
Hey, everybody. So I just started writing in Millie's World in November. I have my 3rd PDA book coming out this Friday with Millie on her birthday. Happy birthday. I also have my 2nd Sassy book will be out in May. So I'm really excited about that. I love paranormal romance. I started reading Millie, 8 or 9 years ago. And I'm a huge fan. So this is an incredible honor. I really love being able to write for you, Millie.
And Mandy. Mandy, can you unmute yourself? Mandy, we can't hear you. If you refresh or try leaving and coming back, we'll come back to you. But for now, let's wait. Was that you?
No, it's Millie. She left.
Oh, okay. Hopefully she's coming back. She lives in an apartment building, and I believe it's they're apocalyptic times fighting over bandwidth at this moment. Let's go to TB.
Hi everyone, I'm Twyla. I write as TB Mann, and I'm relatively new to Millie's World. I was so excited when I finally wrote my first one last November in the FPU world, and I should have a sassy going to the editors tonight, like 1.5 chapters left. So that will be hopefully out this either this month or next month, and then I have another FPU one scheduled for June as well. So yeah, I'm so excited because normally I write contemporary romance, so I really enjoy this time getting a chance to write paranormal.
Awesome. Jodi.
Hi, I'm Jodi Kendrick, and I'm brand new to Millie's Worlds too. I had my first book published in the FPU world last fall, and my second book was in the Sassy world this past February. So it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. So I started under Renee Hewett in FPU in October. And then I did a Sassy in February. And then I did another FPU in March. And then this April, I just released my Dire Bear one in PDA, which, yeah, I won't say more than that because I know the questions I'm going to ask. Starting with, well, let's just start there then.
Ooh.
So my question is, oh, Mandy, you're back.
Sorry. Stupid internet went out and I had to restart it.
All right. So who are you and what do you write in Millie's World?
My name is Mandy Rosko, and I've written a couple books in Millie's World now because she was super nice and gracious enough to have me. So far, mostly in the PDA series, I believe. Well, actually, no, one in the PDA series. Sorry, I got that confused. And 3 coming up soon for the Aquaterrestrial Task Force. Number 3 is going to be starting soon. Which is in our FBU series. And yeah, I'm just super happy to be here right now, especially with my garbage internet.
Okay. Just making sure I'm tagging us all on Twitter right now. But my first question is for everybody. So we'll start with Millie, but then I want to know if you have written a PDA, I want to know what your favorite thing about writing Jerry Wilder is. And I want you to share one of the ways that she's hooked up one of your couples. So Millie.
It's funny because last night, was it last night? It might have been the night before. I was just writing the final bit for no, it wasn't last night, it was like 2 nights ago, for the book that comes out on my birthday. And Jerry went back all the way to her first couple that she matched. And it was a lot of fun because the reader gets a little peek into Talia and Connor and Theron and just see where their life is at, just for just like a little millisecond, and it was sweet. I love Jerry. She reminds me a lot of my husband's godmother. She had the same kind of sass attitude, and she even had like a same look. So it was she reminds me a lot of her, and that every time I write her, I think of, well, how would she say this, or how would she do this? And she was always very no holds bar, and it always brings her back because she passed away when my son was a little kid, and so it's kind of like a nice way to keep her going. I'm so sorry, Jess. I don't remember what the other half of your question was.
One of the kooky hookups that she's done that was one of your favorites.
I think one of my favorites was when she did Okay and Aside, because you had like an alpha female and then you had this alpha male, and it was pretty unusual. And I remember I was in a con when I was writing this, And I was like, oh my God, I'm so stuck. I don't know what to do. And then it was like I hadn't slept in like 3 days, and suddenly the whole story came to me, probably because I hadn't slept in 3 days. But
Fascinating.
it was a lot of fun hooking up two alphas, and she had fun with it. I think I think one of her favorite matches was probably Alex and Bella, because that opened up a whole new world, and it was totally different than being on Earth. Everything was new. And she just kind of like got to rub it in his face that she um, found him his mate, even though he had been refusing her help for so long. And that was so much fun. She's a very evil woman, but I love her.
Awesome. Jennifer Wedmore.
I like writing Jerry just because in my mind I coddle her like she's bawdy. Like she will say anything just to elicit that response from her people, and it makes me laugh. So if I'm laughing, I'm hoping that makes the reader laugh. But I think my favorite way to see her hook up with people is when it's random. Like a lot of times they write her a letter, or they, call her or something. I like when she's at the bakery, or I think Millie did the one book where she was at the grocery store and ran into the other girl's cart. And I like those random ones because I think it's just spontaneous and fun, and it lets the reader think that, hey, it could happen at any time.
Awesome. Terri, do you have a PDA?
I am about halfway through my first PDA, but I can tell you what I've enjoyed about writing Millie is I kind of feel like she almost maybe gives me bigger balls as a writer, because there's no filter. She can just say whatever she wants, and it's given me maybe a little bit more courage. So, but I don't want to say how the couple meets because I don't want to give it away.
That's fair. Godiva?
So I think that my favorite part about writing Jerry is pretty much the same with everybody else. It's that no filter. And it's also because I feel like the readers kind of always they're waiting for that one moment where Jerry just like shocks the crap out of whoever she's talking to, where it seems like it's like simple conversation over tea and cookies, and then Jerry's like, and eggplants, it's really funny. I think my favorite Jerry hookup is I have one with one of my firefighters. He's just like come out of like a very horrible session of speed dating, and he sees Jerry at the bar, and they talk a little bit, and he mistakes her for a woman of the night. And that is how it leads. So yeah.
Nice. CD?
Oh God, there's just so much to love about Jerry Wilder, and of course it's her mouth, that wonderful, outspoken, no nonsense kind of in your face that she gives. And in the book I have coming out on Friday, she's really great because the heroine is kind of saying, I told this guy, to get lost, and Jerry's first natural response was the sex no good? And she gets a little more into it than that, and it's kind of funny, but I do love Jerry, and I just love everything she does.
Great. Mandy?
Yeah, so Jerry's kind of sneaky in mine, which I guess that's basically how she is. She gets basically a call for help from somebody who wants to get a hookup, but she basically tricks them. She's like, yeah, you can do that. You just have to do something for me first. And it turns out that the thing she wants to do for her is steal something. Something turns out to be a person, and that person turns out to be the one that she's hooking up her heroine with. I liked that book. It was my first one using a raccoon shifter, and now I kind of realized how much in love with them I am, so I need more raccoon shifters. And she's going to get like a long lost sibling. I don't know. I'm still working out the sequel with Jess, but yeah. So I that's my first one. I'm still working out how she's going to do it in the second one, but yeah, it's just she can do basically whatever she wants. Like, and everybody kind of goes along with it because they know how she is. So that's kind of what I enjoy about her.
Thanks. TB and Jodi, Have either of you set your eyes on PDA yet?
I haven't yet, just because I haven't had much room in my schedule. I'm kind of back to back right now, but listening to you all, I'm definitely thinking I'm going to give it a shot one of these days.
Yeah, I have to say the same. I haven't had the time for it yet, but it sounds like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so mine came out April 3rd, and I have to say I'm like a total Jerry fangirl, to the point where I was so excited about this book because in my book it's an older heroine and she gets immortality, so she kind of doesn't look as ancient as she did in her mortal life. But like, I just wanted to play with Jerry. Like, I had this whole, like, they were going to go on a train ride and Jerry was going to teach her like the ropes and like modern dating and how to be a sassy lady. And well, yeah, I mean, it's a romance. It wasn't women's fiction. So it ended up down to maybe like a scene and a half. So she met her in a coffee shop. And I mean, Jerry's hilarious. So nobody knows how old she is or how long she's been around. And my hero says that because my hero's immortal. And he's like, actually, now that I think about it, I don't remember when Jerry showed up on the scene. And has she always looked the same? But he always didn't want to be hooked up by Jerry. And well, that was his time. And it was just so much fun for me. I love Jerry. So then my next question would be let me skip to a different one from the audience. Nikki asks, she says, all the badass Badger squad are awesome and funny. Who was your favorite Badger from FPU? Can anyone answer that? I mean, I can say Teddy. Teddy's my favorite because he's mine. And he was just a lot of fun. He's an alpha, but he's one of those alphas that's also kind of a cinnamon roll because he just like at one point he gives Risa a gift and she's like, this is inappropriate for work. And he's like, I was just trying to be nice. Mandy, how about yours?
I would say that, yeah, my favorite Badger is obviously going to be mine. I mean, she was a coroner. I mean, what sort of person doesn't like hanging out with somebody who messes around with dead bodies all day? But yeah, so I kind of cheated. So my Badger is obviously it's in an aquaterrestrial book, but still I sort of just put it in there and connected them in that way. And she ends up hooking up with a shark shifter. But let's see. I don't know why I kind of deviated towards a coroner. I think that's just kind of how she was. She was sort of, how do I describe it? My heroine was one of those people who just like almost has, like, anybody who would look at her and almost think that she had no sense of humor. It's like she's constantly, resting bitch face, but it's because she's thinking all the time and because she's kind of working something out, or because in her head she has better shit to be doing. So I liked that about her.
Awesome. Godiva.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of put on the spot here. I think that we all are going to say that our favorite was the one that we created, obviously. Though I will say I used the other characters quite a bit. I especially used the twins, which I believe were Roxanne's,
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah, they were Roxanne's.
Yeah, I really liked them. And especially because going in with my guy, whenever I read through the character sheets for all the other badass Badgers, I was like, so, yeah, like, kind of like comparison wise with like personalities, I felt like one of the twins is what my guy would want. Of course, that's not what he ends up with. But it was really fun writing him. I went back. I'm from Louisiana originally, so I really wanted to have like a Cajun guy. So I was really excited about that. And then I just threw the eye patch on because I usually do wear an eye patch because I have a medical thing. And so I gave him this like kind of like fun story about like how he got an eye patch. And I just thought it was really fun. I'm glad that there was pestering since actually last year at RTC about getting the honey badgers going.
And Millie finally let us do it. TV, do you want to give us a preview of your honey badger?
Sure. Although I'm one of those who, because I like to write with multiple men, I actually have 3 honey badgers. So so they're pretty cool. I actually had lots of fun writing it because they are undercover cops, but they're not quite the undercover cops that you would think they were, and they all belong to 2 different motorcycle gangs. So it was kind of fun because I've never written sort of motorcycle gangs or that type of a paranormal before. So it's yeah, so I had lots of fun, and I figured that was perfect for their vicious characters. So
Nice.
yeah.
And Terri, do you want to give us a preview of your badger?
Yeah, mine's coming out this Friday, a week from yesterday, and I tried to tie it, like Mandy tied it into something she already had going on, so I had to tie mine into something that I already had going on. So my honey badger was actually kicked off of the honey badger task force, and I will tell you that she went on a 3-week bender down in New Orleans, and James Brock found her and said, "I've got something different for you to do." So he kind of put her in a different group. But what I liked about her is I've always been that kind of person that I have difficulty working with others as far as like group work goes. And so it was kind of fun to make her like this, I'm not going to sit in this meeting. I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I'm going to go do my own thing no matter what you say. So I liked that about her. And it was fun too, because I thought about what a honey badger would be like, how feisty they would be. And so she's feistier and kind of like meaner than some of my other female characters. So that was fun.
Nice. I won't be so mean as to ask Jodi or Jennifer or Millie to choose their favorite honey badger. But I am going to go back to the fact that we just said Millie finally let us write honey badgers. So jumping off of that, I want to know what you want to see more of from your authors and in your world.
I honestly want you guys to write whatever feels right, as long as we don't kill or hurt or go crazy with our fake characters. But I mean, you could kidnap them, you could whatever you want. That's not a big deal to me. But I do find that that you guys are writing whatever feels right to you, whatever you feel the readers will want that are enjoying these worlds. So I'm okay with that, which is why I said yes to the honey badgers.
Jennifer, do you have any thoughts on what you might want to see more?
I like the unusual. You know how much goading we had to get the honey badgers from last year. Y'all saw the panel. That's why my first was a horse shifter. I wanted, the different, the unusual, and Millie was so excited when I wrote that one. But yeah, I like unusual. And what do you mean we can't kill and torture? I wrote a damn serial killer and you didn't say anything.
No, I mean, you can't kill one of our face characters. You can have a serial killer.
Jeez.
Like Terri into serial killer. You know what I mean?
I do. But yeah, I just like the variety. I like seeing what everybody comes up with different, because the bears and the wolves and the jaguars and the panthers, those are fun. Don't get me wrong, but I love the variety. I love seeing everybody come up with something new, and the readers are just loving it too. So I think it's awesome that you guys are doing it.
Awesome. So now I want to know, why do you like writing in Millie's world in general? Not specifically because of Jerry, but there's lots of options. But what's your favorite thing about writing in Millie's world? Let's start with Terri.
Well, I think the best thing is that Millie gave me my first chance to write, to be a published author. So, I mean, I will always be very grateful to that. And I think no matter how many books I have or whatever down the road, like these are the books that are always going to have my heart, because these were my first books. And so I really like that aspect of it, and I will always like that aspect of it. I think the other things too is like when we're doing these, like the honey badgers, and we did the dragon one, and we have a couple others that are coming out. I like playing off of everybody else's ideas, where when you do your own book, you're really in isolation, and that kind of gets a little boring. And so that's probably what I like the best.
Some CD.
Okay, there are so many things to love about writing in Millie's worlds. I just love the fact that the fantasy and the romance is always there. I love the big, larger than life heroes. I love the beautiful, sassy women. I just love that you're going to get a happily ever after, and it's going to be an adventure, and it's going to be funny, and it's going to be sexy, and it's just everything I want to read and everything I want to write. So I love all of it.
Awesome. Jodi.
Well, I have to echo a lot of what Terri said. This has been a brand new opportunity for me, and it's been a lot of fun. So yes, thank you. And it's been fun exploring the worlds and trying to find ways to create our own characters that fit into Millie's world, and sometimes plant those little Easter eggs or bring in those characters, and hopefully the readers like it, and we can keep going with it.
Godiva?
So I think that the part that I really like about it is that, so I kind of was still super newbie author, though honestly, to this day, I still feel like super newbie author, but it gave me the opportunity to just kind of like get tossed into a group of other authors that I'd never met before. And that allows it just feels like you've got like a team, even though for most of our books, we don't necessarily always reach out to each other or anything, but it's just nice to know that you do have like this built-in support network. And I mean, Millie's great. Like, it was very exciting getting to meet her, and just the opportunity to kind of like have my like kind of like little spotlight moments with so many amazing other authors. It's just a lot.
Mandy?
I'd have to say it definitely a lot of what everybody else was talking about, that you could still have all these larger than life situations there, but for me, definitely one of the reasons why I love writing in this world is because of the freedom that it allows you to do so many different things. And Jess could tell you that trying to get my attention or get me to do something is like herding a cat. So I have trouble kind of keeping track of things and sticking to just one particular thing. So being able to kind of put in a little bit of everything, or to just go off on some crazy wild idea, is super amazing. And I love that we can do that.
TB?
I have to echo what the others have said. It's a lot of fun. It's great having another group of authors around you who are so amazing that just welcome you in. But also, because I am at heart a contemporary romance author and tend to write more contemporary based, I'm loving the fact that I get to play in the paranormal world. It's just such a change. It allows me to just explore and just have fun with my characters that I don't necessarily get to do in the contemporary world. So yeah, I love it.
Jennifer?
It's kind of like what you guys said. I love being able to network with these new authors because, we become friends and we chat outside of the world too. And then the same thing with the readers. I get to meet so many new readers that, I'll post something and we just chat, and it's just like, meeting people I wouldn't have gotten the chance to before. And the first story I wrote with my good friends and my sisters, and Millie found out, and she's like, well, you're going to write a book for me, right? And no hesitation. She didn't even care that if I could write. I mean, she hadn't even read the book, and she's like, you're going to write a book for me. And just that blind support that she gave me was just like, okay, I guess I can do that. And yeah, it's just, that's who she is. So it's fun to play in her worlds.
Millie, what do you like writing in Millie's world for?
How do you think you were going to ask me that?
Can't leave you out.
Okay. You know, I think at first, one of the things that I enjoyed writing about writing in my world was there was a lot of just humor and like unexpected things that would happen, amongst the characters. And like when I wrote my sassy um book on Unexpectedly Mated, and they go to Vegas, and it's like, what in the world, and like you have the mother taking them shopping for adult toys, and she's got a shopping cart, and it's like there's just so many moments that are just so unexpected that happen when I write these, and it's just so much fun. That is honestly one of the things that have helped me in moments in my real life, get through with them. That a lot of people don't even realize that reading is amazing and can get help you get past a lot of difficult moments, but writing can do the same.
Awesome. Now we're going to pivot to sassy, and I'm going to start off with kind of a selfish question, but I love small town romance and I love the sassy series. So are we going to see more sassy from you, Millie?
Yes. Yes,
Yay!
yes. Um, I, it's so funny because I always think about this. The problem with the sassy is that when that series came to me, and the way it came to me, it was kind of like I wrote them like one right after the other, and they were just like all each with every story I found out something new, and now it's like I look at them and I'm like who wrote this? It's kind of hard to understand that I came up with those ideas, because like even reading them I'm like, wow, this is like really good. I didn't expect that. Which happens quite often, I'm sure, to all of us when we reread something we wrote, and you're like, this is good. It sucked when I wrote it. I don't know what happened between then and now. um so but yes, I want to do more sassy. I just I guess I have the same trouble that every author has. We have all these ideas and we have so many things we want to do, and something has to take the back burner, and it always ends up being those, you know. So, I mean, it sucks, and I've rethought about it. I'll probably be I've written down notes, so that tells you that something will happen soon, because I don't normally write anything until I'm ready to write.
So does that mean you're bringing in like cousins? Because we've done the main kids. So who's left?
Well, I mean, we have family members we introduced in other books.
Yeah.
We have just people in Vegas. We have people in other locations that we brought up. But also, we can bring. That's the beauty of this world. We can just make somebody up and just slide them up in there and be like, hey, my friend from college, or my friend from this, or a cousin, or whoever. Like, that's the fun part about it, that we can do that in any of these worlds because they're so open that way.
Awesome.
Nice.
So then my next question was going to be then to the authors who have written in sassy. Tell me about how you incorporated Blue Creek, or if you had Barbara Wolf in your book. I want to know if she meddled, because that's just like Jerry. I love Barbara. So Jodi.
So yeah, I wrote Dragon Heat, in which the main characters end up going to Blue Creek and they talk to Barbara Wolf, and they go there because the main character's uncle works at one of the bars there, and they stop in to visit Barbara, and she meddles in the sense that she kind of lets Cameron know that maybe motherhood isn't so bad. She can do motherhood as well as have this career that she wants to have, and kind of it sends her on a different thought direction. So yeah.
Awesome. TB?
my character actually goes to Blue Creek because she's on a quest from her father. So it was in his will that he completed the thing, and it turns out he's actually from the area. But so that's how she kind of gets to Blue Creek. And actually, I mentioned Barbara Wolf in it, but I have it so that my character is actually kind of scared of her. So she doesn't actually go see her. She's doing everything to avoid going to see her for some reason. I don't know why, but that's just the way my character sort of came out. I have a feeling it's because Barbara would have known the truth, knowing things about the area and that, and she just wasn't ready to know the truth yet. She had to find it out piecemeal. So she does everything to avoid meeting her, even though everybody keeps telling her if she went to Barbara Wolf, she might be able to help her.
Awesome. CD Gorri?
So my sassy book starts with a dire wolf motorcycle club, and they're kind of tired of the nomadic life. And through contacts of their alphas, they sort of email Barbara Wolf, who kind of invites them to Blue Creek and says, hey, we got a spot for you. Why don't you come over and check it out? And then her sons kind of go and check out the bar they open. And, Blue Creek's a cool place. Very open.
Terri?
The first 3 sassy books I have, there's brothers who, when they were younger, their family vacationed with Barbara Wolf's family sometimes. And so that's how they knew Barbara Wolf. And then in the 4th one, I actually kind of hinted that maybe Barbara Wolf and my main character knew each other like a long time ago when they were young and before they had families and everything. And then this last one, I guess my 5th sassy, the main character, Saffron, goes to Blue Creek because she wants to meet Olivia, who is Grayson Miller's character. And so Barbara helps set her up to meet Olivia so that she can get a spell and she can be safe from her mother.
Awesome. Now, Millie, I want to know, are there any of your other worlds that people are bugging you to open?
I don't know. I think probably once the series is probably in the fall, maybe. I've already had a couple of people ask me if I'm gonna open up my Crystal Kingdom. And I might. It's different enough from the others. And I think it's just a fun world. I mean, it's like a really fun world. All the stuff that you can create in there. So I might open up that one. It would probably not be until beginning of next year if I do, because I want to add another 3 or 4 books in there before I do that. I wanna see where it goes. But it's definitely my thoughts because a couple of people have asked me about that one. I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of books. I don't know. Like people would have to ask me, and like kind of like let me know that they're interested, and then I would see. But like me on my own, I ain't coming up with anything on my own. Like, I'm just so all over the place. I have no idea about anything.
Y'all don't know how long I had to fight with her to get her to open FPU.
Well, I was going to say, do any of the authors, like, now's your chance, any of her worlds you wish she'd open?
I love the Savage ones, the Savage books. Open those. Please.
Okay, even that name alone sounds pretty good. Yes.
Yes.
Open that one.
I love those heroes. They are amazing.
I did have fun with the Savage Shifters.
Now might be the time to open it then.
Like I keep sci-fi, but like PDA is sci-fi, and like Godiva, you write a lot of sci-fi in PDA. Do you find that like the readers like it? Because to me, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I would do sci-fi because people think Millie Taiden paranormal, but there's a lot of sci-fi readers, right?
I don't know. Well, I had originally started off in completely the other direction because I originally was just like, it's weird. So even though I was writing in Millie's world, I was still paranoid because I'd never even spoken with her that I was going to step on her toes. So the first thing I did is create another planet entirely so that I definitely wouldn't step on any toes. Although, but yeah, my most recent release, Tough Shift, because of how it happens like in space at first, and they're like all like kidnapped into outer space, and there's like crazy lab experiments and everything. And I was a little concerned, especially when my betas were like, what do you mean other planets? I didn't realize this was going to be a sci-fi. I thought this was a paranormal romance. But by the end, they all loved it. So apparently the readers are more accepting than you might think. And I mean, Millie's the one who came up with the whole thing with like, space, and like Aubin uses really spaceships because apparently they're not cool. But, there's technological portals and everything. And I mean, the readers seem to get a kick out of anything. I think that as long as Jerry's there, they're fine with it.
Just wait until they read her story.
We can't wait for that.
Yeah, that one's going to be fun.
So now, Jennifer and Millie, my throat needs a break. Do either of you have any questions we would like to ask?
What are you guys working on next for in one of Millie's worlds? Oh, sorry. Your throat a break. All right, Mandy, you popped on my screen first, so you get to go.
Oh shit. Okay. So the next one I'm going to be working on is going to be a sequel to A Rose by Another Name, which is my raccoon thief shifter. It's what? No, I'm wrong.
You're wrong. That's your Christmas story. You're working on a Prison Break next.
Yeah, fuck. I forgot. Okay, yeah. Prison Break is next, then it's Christmas Story. See, this is what I mean about like I can't keep track of anything, and this is why I love Jess, because I swear to God I wouldn't get up in the morning sometimes if I couldn't figure out what I was doing. But okay, so Prison Break is next. Then it's Christmas Story featuring curvy, awesome raccoon thief.
Awesome, I can't wait. What about you, CD? You gotta unmute, sweets.
Oops, sorry. I am working on my next sassy book, which is with a dire she-wolf, and her mate is a lion. So it's going to be kind of interesting because she doesn't want to be mated.
That's the best time. What about you, Godiva?
So I actually have a ton of like personal projects scheduled for this year. So I will not be as active this year. That's why I pushed out 2 FPU books in March. So that should hopefully tide the readers over for a while. I do have a project with 2 other authors in PDA. And I don't know if it's a secret or not. And I don't know how much I can say about it. But we're doing Dragon Shifters. And I believe it's not gonna be out until November. And I know my title already because I like claimed it last year, and it is Once More with Dragons. So it's actually gonna be bringing back one of my side characters from one of my other PDA books, and so I'm matching. It's gonna be a bear shifter with dragons. So I'm really expecting like lots of clashing alpha personalities, and it's going to be super fun.
Awesome. Can't wait for that. What about you, Terri?
Well, I have the Dragon Shifter books that we just came out with, the Draconius little subset. Regina was the mother, the matriarch of the island, and she was a big old huge heifer. Everybody hated her. She was not a very nice person. But we all found out there was a reason for that. And so my next sassy book will actually be her story. And I'm really excited about that. I wrote her first daughter's story for this last one. So the next sassy one will be her story. And I'm thinking about doing it differently than any of the other ones I've done, but it's a little scary to go do something different. But I don't know, it just kind of might seem like it just works out better that way.
Awesome. Very cool. What about you, TV Man? What am I missing?
I'm just finishing up my Draconian story, so that'll hopefully be out. And then I will be finishing off my Honey Badgers ones. And then after that, I'm not sure yet, just because I've got books scheduled for the next few months on release. But then, as soon as once more a new story comes to mind, which I'm sure talking with everyone in the groups all the time, it seems to pop out a new idea. So I'm sure there'll be more in the very close future.
Awesome. What about you, Jodi?
I'm just finishing up on a personal project outside of Millie's World, and then I'm going to start thinking about some character sketches and world building for Prison Break. And I'm going to see if I can try to figure out how to tie it into the Aquaterrestrial unit for the FPU world. So that'll be nice.
That's very cool. Millie, what do you got coming for us?
Wait, I want to hear from Jess first.
Okay, well, I was trying to give her voice a break, but okay.
I need to get words out because I'm not so good at words, so that's why we're having a conference now instead of a book. But I do have on my list, I have a sequel to my Dragon Island book too. In my first book, there was a girl that was she was in charge of the tech, and she is going to an island that is, it's kind of cyberpunk. So there's some twists and turns and ends up in Blue Creek. And if the words get on the page, that'll come out soon. And then after that, my Prison Break story, which if we're lucky, I can get done for August, FPU, is actually gonna be female. It's two heroines because I introduced the idea of one in my Honey Badger book. And then I introduced the second character. She is an FPU agent, and she was introduced in that book, and she has to go find out whether this woman who is imprisoned in a non-FPU prison for paranormals, if she was unjustly imprisoned, and if so, she's going to have to break her out. And the idea just came, and there was no heroes, so it's two heroines.
Nice. I like that.
That sounds awesome.
It does.
The whole Prison Break idea is awesome. I'm all for it. When is that set coming out?
We were aiming for June and then life. So I think some of us are still aiming for August.
Yeah. I might join you guys. We'll see.
Nice.
It's coming out whenever Jess beats us.
So obviously I just had the second book in my my Casters and Claw series come out not long ago. And before that I had a PDA. We have a PDA coming out on the 17th called Dragon Rights, which is awesome. Then after that, there's another PDA called Wolfing Her Down because titles. And then we'll have some more of the Casters and Claws and another Alpha Geek. So it's a very, very busy rest of the year. I'm on the last book of a new series called Alpha Dated. Jacqueline Sweet did the cover, so they're really fantastic. And then I'm trying to figure out what else to do with myself because there's just so many series and
Fate Swish.
Yeah, me. What did you say?
Fate Swish.
Oh yeah. I mean,
One day, 10 years from now, maybe.
Maybe. I plan on finishing Jerry's book
5 years from now.
in the next, couple of months. I started writing it and it caught me so off guard, like the story, like what was going on. I was like, I can't write this right now. And so it was very overwhelming. Like the whole story was like, oh my God, what the hell? So I had to put it down um, because I found out some stuff I wasn't ready for about Jerry. So yeah, it was very, very surprising. I actually like her more now than if that's possible because of what made her who she is. But once the story comes out, obviously it'll mean that people will need to adjust how she's written, not because her personality is going to change, but because she's got a history now, that people know about once it's out.
Awesome. So thank you, Jennifer. I was just going to say that we have a couple questions in the chat. Lisa Jones asks, what is your favorite shifter?
Well, I'll start. I like all of them. I tend to like the bigger, more predatory animal type, but honestly, in one of my books, I have a multi-shifter, and he turns into a little mouse at one point. So it's not. I like all of them. I love all shifters. I think as long as you include characteristics from the animal into the person, then it works. That way.
Jennifer?
I think, like I said earlier, it's I don't really have a particular. I just like when the different ones and unique, like the honey badgers and the just different animals. I like unique, I guess could say.
Terri?
I like dragons. Always dragons. Always, always, always dragons. So.
Godiva?
God, okay, sorry. My spit just went down the wrong tube. So I actually love wolves. But I do that in my personal project. So for what I write for Millie, I go for the different. I think that's why I kind of started with like the fae, and I have so many more plans for that because I already did Selkies, and I definitely want to do the Naiads and the Kelpies, but I also really need to make myself sit down and outline a story because in one of my books, I introduced off screen a skunk shifter. And I really, really, really think that he needs his cute happily ever after. So I'm really waiting for like the right heroine to kind of pop into my mind for him.
CD?
Well, so wolves are my first love too. I really love wolves. I write those again in my own series. In Millie's Worlds, I went with big cats. For my PDA series, I have tiger shifters, and I just love them. I love them. I love the way they move. I love their presence. And like Millie said, as long as you incorporate something from the animal into the man or the woman, depending on what you're writing, it works. There's something about it that I just find very attractive, and I like to read it.
Mandy?
Lately, I'd have to say I'm developing kind of an affinity for anything sea creatures. I can't think of anything specifically. I guess an octopus because that's one I used, sharks. But after doing aquaterrestrial, I'm starting to realize that I really like doing underwater animals, and there's so many fucked up looking ones that you could see. They look like little aliens. I found out there's something called an ogre fish. And one of my heroes was a goblin shark, so I'm thinking of like figuring out all of the messed up sea creatures that have some sort of name that has something to do with like a fantasy element. I don't know how they got those names. Well, you can figure it out when you look at them. They're messed up looking, and just kind of putting them together and seeing if I can't do something with that.
Nice. TB?
Well, because I'm new to paranormal and shifters, I mean, I have my personal preferences for reading, but I haven't had a chance to write many. But I must admit that I did have a lot of fun with my dolphin shifters. It was just kind of fun and unique to write about them. And so far, they're probably my favorite, although these honey badger guys are taking a close second. So, yeah.
Jodi?
Yeah, I've only done a couple. The dragons were a lot of fun. But writing the Barracuda was interesting because when you're trying to find the characteristics to include in their human traits, it's you can go pretty creative with it and trying to get it right. And yeah, like my character she was ancient and primal, so it was fun kind of going to that place.
Awesome. Then there would be me, and I don't have a favorite shifter. I don't know. Like, yeah, like you guys are saying, like as long as you put the animal trait in there, and I think there's just so many personalities, and then you can look at the animals and be like, what is this personality, and match it to a person. And I just haven't picked a favorite yet. I'm going to direct the next question from the audience to Godiva because you sort of answered this. So the question is, does anyone do silkies? But I'm going to add to that, do you know anyone other than yourself? Since you've done silkies, maybe you know if anyone else has.
I actually do not. Well, at least I know that the stories exist because whenever I brought it up, it was a reverse harem, and I know that it apparently is not the only Selkie reverse harem book out there, but I do not know who else did it. But I do know that Alexa did Kelpies already, although hers are probably different than mine because mine come from an alien planet, and I haven't had the chance to read hers yet. But I mean, that sounds really fun because it's like water horse, so you get all the fun like horse jokes but like with water.
Millie or Jennifer, do you two know if anyone else has done them in Millie's world?
I don't know if somebody else has written a silky. It sounds, oh God, sounds familiar. I think maybe Jen.
Godiva was the first person that popped into my head when I read the question. I know we've had a couple that did the Aquatic Beyond. You guys, Chris Genovese had done sharks. Savannah Verte's got underwater creatures, mermaids, I think. Offhand, don't kill me. But I can't recall, honestly. And there's just so many books kind of forgotten now.
So there was a question for where can you find a list of the books, and that's mtworldspress.com. And Jennifer, Millie, do you want to say anything to anyone who might be thinking about writing for Millie's World?
My first suggestion is to read some of the books in the world and see if, that is the style that you would be interested in. And then to, contact us. However Jess thinks is the best way.
Yeah. Even if you're writing your first book, I think several of us said we were fairly new when we started. We're here to help you. All the authors are willing to answer questions. Just email mtwpress1@gmail. Find me on Facebook. Go to the fan group. Mm-hmm. We're happy to help and invite anybody to come in. All three worlds, they're so different that, there's always something for somebody in there,
Right. And, it's good to, if you're interested in writing in the world and you've already read some of the books in it, absolutely just email us and we can give you a rundown of what the rules are and what you need to do. And then you can join and get the support you need from all the other authors in the world.
Great. And now we're at 7:00. So thank you everyone for being here. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to say or wanted to add before we go? Besides, thank you, Millie.
Thank
No,
you,
actually,
Millie.
I wanted to say something. I want to say thank you to all the amazing authors who have joined the Empty Worlds Press group, and to ask the readers to please go check them out because they have fantastic stories for you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, wait, before we go. So I wanted to say that if you go on Facebook and find my author page for Godiva Glen, it's my author page. I have a post up there asking what unusual shifters you like. Go ahead and answer that, and I will pick a winner. And I have these really cute, I don't have any with me right now, but I have these really cute Agent Breaker Badger stickers that I want to give out to you guys. So go on my Facebook author page, scroll down past my pinned post, and answer what unusual shifters you like for a chance to win a cute, cute sticker.
Aw.
Awesome.
Jess, I just wanted to say real quick, thank you to the readers. Every time you take a chance on our books, I mean, it's an incredible thing that we put these books together because we want to share a part of our hearts and our souls to you. And it's just really great that you guys just read them and you support us and you come out and listen to all of the stuff we have to say. And I just want to thank the readers. So.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Anybody else? Last call, last call.
Yeah, just thanks to Millie for having us, and thank you, Jess, for being our moderator, and for
thank you, Jess.
And it was wonderful meeting all of you face to face. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Yes,
Bye,
we thanked Millie so
Bye.
much, but thank you, Jennifer, too, for all you do for us.
Yes.
Yes.
No problem.
Oops.
Thanks for being here. Hope you had fun.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.